Hello everyone, this is our race recap from our duel today with Holy Cross and Temple and BU and Hobart. New format for the race this year, new location, lots of movement in everyone's calendars. I think us and Holy Cross and Temple have really committed to want to do this race every year. It's a great opportunity for all three of us to get competition across conferences, and certainly for Marist has been a really fun race every year, a very competitive race, and one that we look forward to each season. So pumped that we were able to do that. BU was a new addition this year. BU has been trying to set something up with Holy Cross for a number of years, and when we moved the event to Worcester, it made it easy for them to show up, and they didn't have any other races this weekend, so that was a cool opportunity, and Hobart jumped in this year. So overall, it was a great day. It was a great race day. Good mix of crews. Our drama of the day, the bus showed up this morning. We had a 6 a.m. departure planned from campus, and the bus driver arrived around the time we were supposed to be leaving and informed us that the bus was broken and he had to go back to the lot and get a different vehicle. And so we ended up, the athletes, cooling their heels for about an hour before the bus finally showed up, and that meant that once we got on site, instead of having kind of an easy 2-hour run up to our race time, we were very rushed, getting out on the water, getting rigged, getting ready to go. Props to the athletes. Not the first time we've had a little bit of a fire drill like that, but they did a very good job dealing with it. Everything got rigged. It all got rigged properly. Everybody got to the race course in time for their race, and so overall, not the way we want to run the show, but we got it done in spite of some difficult circumstances. The varsity went off first. They had a terrible start, like the first 5 strokes out of the block. Missing a bunch of water, thrashing around from the launch. It was, Coach Stratton and I thought it was really ugly. They then in the high strokes, I thought, did really well. They pulled together some good rhythm, seemed to come off the high strokes into their base pretty strongly, and were hanging with Hobart for a while. And over the course of the middle 1,000 meters, just had a hard time hanging on to the other boats. The rhythm, I think, was marginally better today. It seemed like guys were cranking, and then coming into the last 600 meters of the race, where you really want to rally, just not a lot of spark or energy in the boat. And so tough day, another tough day for this boat. They've had a hard time coming together as a crew, and so Coach Stratton and I are kind of thinking of making some changes in the coming weeks. We have 3 weeks between now and the NIRC regatta, our conference championship, and so the plan is going to be to do some fitness testing this week. We have a 2K test scheduled for the team on Tuesday, and looking to see if we get some interesting results from that. But kind of regardless of the 2K testing, we'll probably be doing a little bit of mixing of athletes and see if we can find a better crew, better rhythm for the top 8 based on what we've seen so far this week. We actually thought about doing it earlier, but this week we had registrations on 2 of the days this week, which meant we were missing a bunch of athletes on those days, and we only had a 4-day week, so we decided to kind of hold off until we had this nice longer runway up to our next event. 2V, decent day. I think not the day that they wanted. Seemed to do okay off the line, had some great energy in the early strokes, and then Temple kind of pushed up past them a little bit, and when that happened, they imploded a little bit. So that boat, seems to hold their own pretty well, but the third 500, we really lose some spark. We lose some pep in our step, and we're not delivering in that toughest part of the race the way we need to, the way that we want to as a boat. So, again, expect some changes between that boat and the Varsity 8. The 2 crews were only 4 seconds apart, like they were last weekend. So 6:23 for the Varsity 8, 6:27 for the 2V. So we're thinking that there's a better combination somewhere in here, and we're going to try and find it. 3V had also a tough day. Probably they had the worst day out of the 3 boats. You got the sense from them that their piece was just very jumbled right out of the gate. Had a hard time coming together and finding swing in the middle 1,000 meters. Definitely from the video you could tell that they were just very underrate in comparison to the boats they were against, and so I think that boat, I'm not certain how much moving around of athletes there's going to be, but we'll be working to try and find something different, better in the lead up to NIRC. I think there's probably some better starting strokes to be had in there. There's probably a better sprint. There's probably some more technically proficient rowing at base to be found, and so that'll be the focus of the next couple weeks in there. A lot of novice guys in that boat, so I think they're learning from each race day, and last week we had a great one, this week we didn't, and that kind of inconsistency is just very typical of a very young crew. So we're gonna keep working, keep sending them out. We'll be excited to bring those guys to the NIRC. So that's it for the week. We've got, like I said, this 3-week period now, two full weekends of training before we head back to Worcester for the NIRC in May. And we're looking forward to the opportunity. Well, it will be a little bit of a reset for everybody in the boathouse, both physically and mentally, and hoping to come back to NIRC with an improved product. So thanks to all the parents and alumni who've been out both this week and last weekend. It's been awesome having that support. Had a big lunch today for the athletes, and thanks to Holy Cross for hosting us at their home course for the first time. Not sure what it is about this weekend, but every year it seems like we luck out with fantastic conditions on this race day. So hopefully that trend continues into next year. And we'll look forward to seeing some of you guys at the NIRC in May. Have a good weekend.